there was something really interesting that you told me one time, which was that when you're going through a hardship, when you're going through a struggle, there's an easy temptation to do what's wrong because you feel like it's some sort of relief or something like that.
Mm,
But you told me that you find that very scary. And
mm,
that
mm,
surprised me because I thought that was more so a natural human reaction. But you had a very different you had another perspective to it, and I thought that was a
mm.
very fascinating perspective. Do you want to share that?
Sure, sure, sure. Um, so when someone goes through, I feel like when we are afflicted with a hardship or struggle, like you said, we might have this natural inclination to go towards to do something wrong, to go down a poor avenue to make ourselves get a short term, fix and feel better. And why I say that's scary is because to me that exposes the weakness or strength of a foundation that we built for ourselves. A foundation rooted in, okay, who are we when things go wrong? What's our gut feeling? What's our kind of gut turn? Because it's one thing for us to naturally feel inclined to go down a wrong path or feel like perhaps the devil's whispering in our ear to go down a wrong path. It's another thing to actually take steps and find ourselves going very close or actually going down that wrong path in those moments. And that's because it's exposing who we are. Uh, and I'll put an analogy out there first and I'll dig into it. Like when you only know how strong a house is once a storm hits, right? You're not going every day testing your walls and doing tests on it. And, you really only find out once that hurricane comes through. Now you'll find out if everything the construction builders told you was real or not, or if you got scammed, right? Uh, with us, in these in between periods, where by in between, I'm referring to in between struggle and struggle, where there are always constant struggles, but in terms of like, okay, life is just kind of at like a certain stable place where there's nothing like huge that we've never seen before. We're in a stable place. In these moments, we are building who we are. We're trying to become better people. We're building our foundation. We're trying to get closer to God. We're trying to follow more closely the role model of Prophet peace be upon him and these things. And we're building and we're building. We're trying to see, trying to make ourselves as strong as possible. When that storm hits, when that hurricane hits, now we lose our kind of mental stability. And now let's see where our heart takes us. And our heart is going to take us where our foundation has been built, to the extent our foundation is being built. And so in that moment, if I find myself getting very close to doing the wrong things, that's scary. Because what that means is my foundation is not been built strong enough. I haven't been doing enough for myself. Some people, it takes them going down all the way the wrong avenue, and then that's what makes them self-reflect and realize and make them want to build their foundation now before the next storm hits. But the fact that we might be inclined is or go to the wrong path is a scary, scary notion, especially because we're essentially telling God, hey, like, you've put me in a bad situation and now I'm going to disobey you. That's going to be my reaction to what you have dealt me with. When all these years before, God, you've blessed me and so in unlimited ways and things were going well for me. And I'm grateful for that. But true gratitude is shown in your actions. And so when that storm hits, if your gut reaction in that moment is to go down a wrong path, that's scary that you're telling God, yeah, what I want to do is disobey you now to make myself feel better because you afflicted me with this certain test. When God has told us multiple times, he doesn't burden us beyond what we can bear, and so on. Now, I'm not saying it makes it easy. I'm not saying it's easy to sit there and be like, yeah, God is giving me a really hard test right now, but I know I can bear it because he told me to. No, of course, it's deeper than that. Like, you got to really, that's what I'm saying. You got to build that foundation. And when I say you, I'm really talking to myself because I find myself kind of fluctuating and dealing with different struggles in my life experiences. And so it's like, man, I have to build that foundation. Otherwise, when push comes to shove, It's I don't want to be looking God and telling God, yeah, I'm gonna go the wrong path because I can't deal with what you're throwing at me right now.
It is powerful. It is so powerful. And I still remember to this day when you told it to me, it was just something that was in my mind for weeks and weeks and weeks, days and days and days. And I was like, wow, I had to really reflect on that. That was like opening a door of some kind. It's like a key to opening a door of some kind. It unlocked something. It was very powerful.